Yes, another video from the infamous Thompson'S Kennels coming live to you from Hoodwoods, showing updates on females, pregnant females. I just slapped a coat of paint on my high box. Looking good. This is Corona here. This is a mailman times cookie bitch. We got her bred to flash. I'm doing a little update on the high box. This is the old high box. This is the one me and my pops built about 10 years ago, 11 years ago. Got to keep up with it, got to keep it painted, got to rip out all the rotten wood when it gets rotten and all that good shit. But this is the heat lamp setup. We mount the heat lamp on the outside of the box so it shines in. This is a 2 heat lamp setup box. You see right here, this is for the second heat lamp. It's not cold enough out here yet for us to be using them, but these are the 2 setups. This is an older box, so I'll run, depending on the weather, because I'll take a piece of wood and block this off if it's mild weather, but the way it's been going up and down and shit, it may be one of those super cold winters. So like I said, this is a 2 heat lamp box. I won't run a heating pad in here because I got 2 heat lamps. 2 heat lamps keeps this box about 88 degrees when it's 40, 35 degrees outside. So this is the 2 heat lamp setup. And like I said, you just keep up with this stuff. Like I said, it's an old box. We call them a high box where we at, but this is an old one, but we keep up with it. Like I said, just keep it painted. When you see rotten wood and stuff, tear it out and go ahead and start fresh with it, you know. And the more care you put into them, the longer they last. This is a newer high box. Slapped a coat of paint on this too. I got Lady of Rage in here. This is a 1 heat lamp box with a heat pad setup. What's up, lady? You going to work on that ball? That's a heating pad underneath here. That's a cutout for the heat lamp. So I'll run 1 heating pad, 1 lamp in here, and I don't have any issues even when it gets down to 35, 40 degrees outside. As you can see, this is Lady of Rage. We have her bred to Zulu. She's a wild one. People ask me about the toys. I don't give any fucking soft toys. All of those Kong toys and all of that shit, it looks nice, but those dogs can rip pieces of that shit off and swallow it. So I'm old school. I use the old hand grenade. I get them from O'Brien's K9 Supply. They're about $18 for the big one that you see her playing with. But since I put her in the box, because I kind of skipped the kennel process, I was going to go from the chain to the kennel, but since we're still doing so much hand walking, I said it doesn't make sense for me just to stick them in the kennel. The 5x10, let's just put them in here and we'll hand walk them out. We'll do something a little different, just go around with these females. But this is Lady of Rage, and she's bred to Zulu. And like I said, you can see she's a very mouthy dog. That's why when I put her in this box here, I give her something to play with before she starts focusing on something and being destructive. So, heating pad underneath here. That's our cutout for the heating lamp. I'll show y'all the outside of it. We'll leave her to her vices. Mouthy ass motherfucker. But this is the outside setup for it, pretty much. You mount the lamp on the outside, it shines in, and she has a heating pad. Like I said, we double insulated the top of it so it holds heat pretty good. But that's pretty much the high box setup. I love the high box because it keeps the bitch off the ground. I can see what's going on. That's another type of whelping box in the back. I'll do another video on that one. But that's one of those water. I used to use them as swimming pools for the dogs, but now I'm using it as a big whelping box for Miss Trinidad because she's a way bigger dog. And I bred her in this box last year, and she laid on a couple of puppies. So this box, neither one of these boxes are sufficient for her size. So we're gonna go ahead and show a little bit of it here. I converted this into a whelping box. I have a heat lamp cut out in the back that'll be exterior going to the cage. I already framed in the front of it. It's big as shit, so it should carry her and her pups pretty good. And like I said, I already have a heat lamp set up. And if I already got something designed for a heating pad to go underneath this if I think it can't hold heat. But I actually was inside of this motherfucker working, and it was pretty cold outside. And just for me being inside breathing in it, it was pretty warm. So I think 1 heat lamp, and I'll have a heating pad backup, should be sufficient for this setup right here. Of course, cage on the top with Miss Trinidad. We're not playing no games with her. But this is pretty much the setup. You can get them anywhere, damn near find them. But like I said, you just want to be cognizant of what was being kept in here. Like I said, I know for a fact water was being kept in here, so I'm not tripping. But if you were having something where they were holding hydraulic fluid or some kind of weird ass chemicals, you really need to pay attention to that before you try to use this as any type of whelping box situation. But this is an experiment. We're going to see how this works because, like I said, Miss Trinidad is a way bigger dog, and she looked like she was kind of stuffed in that high box, and that may have been the result of why we lost a couple of puppies with her laying on them. So we'll see how this works out. But Corona seems to be comfortable. Like I said, I just transferred them into the high box today. We still, like I said, I'm skipping the 5x10 kennel thing. We're just gonna hand walk them out as needed, daily exercise while they're in here. Let them get comfortable and acclimated to being in here, because you want to get these bitches comfortable with where they're gonna have pups at, you know. And I was thinking to myself, let me just high box them and walk them, hand walk them, and we'll do it like that. But this is Corona, and like I said, when you first put them in here, I just like to watch and stand out here for a couple hours and do my thing and just keep an eye on them, see if there's something that they're fucking with that they could possibly tear up or anything like that. You know, just peeping the scene. You know, you gotta be a prison warden with some of these dogs. But that's Corona and Lady of Rage looking pretty good. I ain't making no super long video. I had people ask me about these barrel setups and how I do my barrel setups. This is pretty much a barrel setup. That's Dirty Mary standing there. That's a mailman daughter as well. She's a half sister to Corona. This is mailman to Black Mary, and Corona is mailman to Cookie. But I don't cut the backside where the caps are. Reason being, you know, and this ain't no how-to video. This is just how I do it, because you know we got the little pocketbooks and panties crew on here. Every time you give some advice, oh, don't do it that way, don't do it this is just my way I do it. You know, calm the fuck down, put your tampons in your purse. I don't cut the service side of the barrels. I cut the bottom side, and that's why I make my entrance for the dog to go into. Reason why is because summertime I can unscrew this cap and it gets air circulation through the barrel for summertime. When it gets wintertime, I can put the cap back and close it off so it holds more heat. That's just a little free game for you guys, because I had somebody email me about how I do the barrel setups, and like I said, that's how I do them. I never cut this side of the barrel. I always cut the bottom side, round it off, and as you can see, I'll mosey on over here to Rosa. I'll put extensions. Like, I don't waste anything. Even my old barrels that I don't use anymore, I'll cut the top off. I'll cut the midsection off and put it as a exterior cover. If you got something that like to chew on the barrel, that kind of helps. I put that on the front side of the barrel, so they can't really chew on the entrance or the exit of the barrel. They can chew around the rim if it's what they like to do or whatever. But I have this setup as well. This is a little bit more heavier duty type of setup. So, you know, it just makes, because once they fuck up the front, you can't put bedding inside of it. So if they're jumping in and out with the chain, they're just going to pull the bedding out. So I like to have that big lip inside to hold the bedding in. But like I said, I'll cut an old barrel and just pop that around the entrance of it. And like I said, it's one barrel, but that's just a section of another barrel that I cut off and put around as the entrance just to keep the bedding in. So, but we don't have that issue with Rosa here. Well, as far as chewing anything or doing anything like that, I had another dog that was in this spot, and that's why that setup is like here. But, you know, for the ones that like to mess up the entrance of the barrel, I'll show you guys again. Just take another barrel, cut a section out. Usually that's probably about 1.5 feet, and you just take a sledgehammer and bang it around the entrance of the barrel. And like I said, it just helps them from fucking up the entrance. But this is Rosa here, looking good. And that's pretty much all I got to give for the barrels and the high boxes. Like I said, I haven't mounted my heat lamps yet. It's about 75 degrees out here now, so there's no need for them. But yet again, I'll show the framework on it. We used a real small chicken wire, frame it in, and where the lamp mounts is out here. So they can't have any contact with the actual bulb. And it's not touching any wood. And this is not no experimental shit. I've done my hot boxes like this for years and years and years. I've never had any issues. So just take a little self-tap the heat lamp here. Here, you can actually take that apparatus on the back that clamps on the shit. Take that off and just screw the ring here. Here, it'll keep it flush against there. And then I usually use my flap to cover the backside, so if it rains, water and stuff doesn't access the heat lamp. And you just pretty much take your good old staple gun. Once you get that set up, and staple it around so it's waterproof and all the heat is being directed inside the box. So that's the side one. And like I said, you can design them however you want. Like I said, I do a 2 heat lamp setup on this one, no heating pad. And this other one here is a 1 heat lamp, 1 heating pad setup. But I hope all is well in YouTube land. Just answering some emails. Y'all have a blessed one. And this was Thompson'S Kennels, the infamous Thompson'S Kennels, yet again coming live to you from Hood Woods. Y'all have a blessed one.